Hello, it's Eric Pauly at erpley.com, ERPOLLEY.com, and I am actually putting off doing a Udemy class right now. Hey, nothing like procrastination in the early afternoon. I was gonna say morning. It's not morning anymore, friends and family. So instead, I'm gonna open up this blank Animate CC, Sade, yeah, Sade, and let's just grab an image straight off the presses. Now, I have been writing a little bit. That's why I got my notepad. Uh, and I've been writing according to this character. Sure, yes. And what I want to do is rig him up because I know I'm going to use him. What are you doing? Size it correctly. I want to make sure that it fits on the screen when I rig him because I want the brush size to be consistent, and if I size up and size down and change the size of my finished product, it will in fact change the size of my brush, which is something I don't want to happen. We want brush size 4, I think. Let's see if that's right. That looks right. It's a little bit thick, but that's because I resized the skeleton character that I'm working on. It's one of those, I'm drinking one of those, not cappuccinos, you know what I'm talking about? Like, the store-bought stuff that you can just mix at your home. Alright, before I get started, let's go red. And that's just going to make it to where I can see exactly what I'm doing. And we can uncheck this and go back. How does that look? Looks very scully. Skeleton-ish. Looks skeletal. I don't know. Words are hard. Everybody knows this, and they agree, but we still use them. Why? Yes, this is the deep discussion that you can expect from me. Words. Why do we use them? Let's do F8 first of all, and let's call this character. It wasn't Skullboy. It was Bonehead. And let's Bonehead 3Q. Let's put a dash in there. That way it stays at the top of what I'm working on. I'm gonna hold Control and double click on this. That puts me inside of the symbol. And now we need to decide, do we want the eyes and everything to be inside of their own symbol so I can manipulate them, or should I just parent them inside so then when I grab, say, the nose, the eyes, mouth, and eyebrow follow so he can turn his head, that sort of thing? I think that's the route I'm going to go. And I'm going to label these things as I go. Head, outer. Let's save this before we get too out of hand. I always look around like, what's going on? That's because my computer, more often than not, will start opening these things on the wrong screen. Okay. Bonehead. Rigs. Let's just do that. You know what? I should just call this bonehead. Oh my god. If I could see it. There we go. Good job, buddy. You get an A+. And now let's go folder bonehead rigs. And I know I could just put rigs, but if I'm searching for it on my computer, I would like to be able to search the entire name if I literally lose the folder for some reason. It happens, alright? Oh, I just grabbed a regular pen. That would be great. Why do I have that anywhere near my computer? Yeah, alright, let's go. Let's lock that first. I wanted to call it folder, the first layer. And I'm just going to duplicate this because I want some symmetry. But we can transform it and maybe go horizontally. Like so. He has eyeballs. And the eyes themselves can actually be rigged together on a symbol. Because when one is animated, the other is usually animated as well. Yeah. I could even, honestly, when we come back to it, I could duplicate those eyes and create a symbol with both one eyeball and then that same eye duplicated, and then just have them on a have them together in one symbol as to play one time, and then once it's playing inside of that symbol it'll be duplicated, so I only have to draw one eyeball, so I can put eyelids and everything on it and have it rigged, ready to animate, and it will duplicate everything from there for me. Mouse. That's why mouse. I was looking for mouth. And I'm probably gonna rig this character, and then I'm gonna call that done for today, because I really should get back to that Udemy class. I just wanted to get this guy started at least. So I might finish this right here and I might not. I haven't decided yet. Eyebrows. Oh, we're forgetting his little hat. And I'm going to draw the bottom line first, about like that. Let's improve the hat. That's the plus side of drawing one day and then rigging the next day. So like design is that you get a minute to breathe in between, so you notice little things that could be fixed. Like I'd like to put some little lines on this head, or on this neck rather. Neck. Each one of these is going to actually need to be their own symbol, I believe, and I'll make sure to lock them in so that they are on a single layer, and they won't play video. They'll just be set on single image, and that will be probably the best way to go about that. Body. We got a body of a skeleton. And I'm going to rig one arm. I think that's all I need. And one arm, and that arm needs to be better than that. And no, he's not going to have a nub. He's going to actually have an arm. But for right here, right now, it makes sense for me to just put the beginning of the arm, shoulder, and it comes out as should, but it's shoulder. I'll tell you that. Right now, I don't know why I think I could do accents. That's unacceptable. Unacceptable. And that should rig out pretty good. We could always test it like this. Make sure that's in the right spots. Move this over just a smidge. This is how I test an arm for general animation. There you go. One arm. And it is relatively rigged. Arm. What's the forearm? Yeah. Arm, forearm. I should also label which arm it is. I don't like putting right and left because the character can turn around, and then I'm using the right leg as the left leg, and then the right leg I'll think is in the wrong spot, and then I'll reverse the order, and then everything just gets muddy from there. Alright, so that hand is not even a hand. It needs to be more of a skeleton hand. So we could do a little loop like that, and then the thumb will come out right here like so, and then the hand will come out like this. It's got like a real Freddy Krueger complex. But I don't like it, actually. I don't like the entire hand. I'm gonna do this part first. I think the fingers were way too long. That looks better. And let's put a thumb, one thumb. Control Z is your best friend, and everybody says so. Is it the 50s? I don't know. I usually like to draw with some sort of music going on. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? But instead, I am talking to myself, and therefore I start to sing. Hand a handy. That hand looks correct. And now I would like to make some legs. I'm going to rig them pretty much the same way that I just rigged. Oh, there's a glove down here. One of these gloves. The finger gloves. I'm not going to put it on. Oof. Yeah. I'm going to rig it the same way that I was rigging the arms. That's what I was saying. Let's start it up here. And go down like that. And honestly, it could have this bump right here. Now, if you were going to see that, I would replace it. But you will not see it. Leg, thigh. Alright. Cool. That actually was great. Leg, shoot, what's it called? Calf? have with the hard V, y'all. I don't know what's going on with these voices. You know, I really need to get down to the nitty and the gritty. He's gonna have cute little booties. Hold on a second. There's a weird bump. Now there isn't. Great. Everything currently right here could be duplicated. So let's make sure, first of all, that everything looks okay without this guy. Yeah. He obviously needs some pupils, but we'll do that inside of the other symbol. Select all, turn them all black. That's how easy that part is. Let's lock them all again and save it, because Bonehead is looking pretty cool. His neck's a little bit weird, but I kind of like the weirdness, to be honest with you. I was looking up at this. I have a reference image on my wall of Bonehead. That's how much I like this character. Yeah, we can go through and actually fill in some color. I'm gonna go for like an off-white, more of like a blue for his skull and such. Oh, it was. I love the autosave feature until I don't want it. And have his legs be bone. I think we're gonna change that to like gray pants. Yeah. In the side of the symbol, when it comes to that point, I will erase little bits and pieces of this, and depending on where the movement is taking place, I will replace those symbols with each other. Boy, that was a stack of words that only I could comprehend. Shoe one? I don't know. Using numbers, letters, the whole thing. It's just a mess at this point. I'll probably go through and make sure that there's consistency with all these namings. Yes. And okay, so here's why I break everything down in the order that I do. So the neck needs to go over the body, but first the neck goes behind the head over here. Now all of this everything from the hat down goes in front of the body, right? And since we know that, we're just gonna move it on over. Just keep on moving. Buckaroo? Yeah. Anyways, let's go to the eyes. And not fill them in black. Wait, or should we? Nah, he'll be really hard to animate what the heck's going on with him. So I'm gonna make him white, and then the nose, we'll make that black. It's not quite black, but let's make sure it's a different shade. You can barely see, but that's in case I want to edit something or change something, like make boogers coming out of his nose or something like that. Something that could be animated through. Did you hear that slur? Through the character. All right. And I think this is the one that's going to be erase-able. And I can't quite think of that, how that happens. For now, let's just go inside of every single thing now and create symbols. F8, bonehead, forearm, A. F8, bonehead, shoulder, A. I should have said arm, but whatever. Again, I can go into the library here in a moment and change all this around. Bonehead, hand. I think I'm just going to have one hand, but I'm still going to label it A. And like this right here. Are you going to really make me right click? Why can't you be like every other program and just let me click on it twice? And now let's keep on moving along. Bonehead, leg, thigh. Make sure I select everything. Bonehead, leg, shin. What did I call it a second ago? Calf. Cavalry. Oh no, my outline. Why did I lose my outline on my shoe? I hate it when that happens. I'm just gonna redraw it. That's not cute enough. That's better. Fill it in, and that's a booty. Bonehead, booty. Yep. Now let's move on to the body. Is that what I'm working on? Is it still locked? Why are you locked? And bonehead, body. I should just be clicking on the layers. Bonehead, neck. It's like this weird old school discovery game. It's like, why am I doing it this way? Bonehead, eyes. Bonehead, nose. And if you can't tell, this is probably the most fun and interesting part, right? Bonehead, mouth. Labeling. And I clickety click click clack on the keyboard. Why am I changing the name? Nope, that's not what I wanted to do. Here we go. Bonehead, eyebrows. Bonehead, hat. He's got a cute little hat on. Alright. Now is when I want to go in and select every little thing. And let's have the property menu open. First of all, that's probably the best idea, is to go through and turn all this. See, like, that's one that we needed. Bonehead, head, outline. Trying to slip on by me, are you? Single frame. Come on now. I want the eyebrows. Single frame, single frame, single frame. Where are my single frames at? Give me single frame. Yep. Groaning at my own nonsensical singing. 'Cause it's groan worthy, really, is why Single frame. Just one. Single frame. Single frame. Mrs. Fiona Charming. Yep. I'm an adult. An adult man, to be specific, I reckon. Single frame. Everything should be on a single frame. And that'll make it to where I can animate them on the timeline using Frame Picker. Now, the only time I'm probably not going to use that is the eyeballs, and honestly, I think I will have a set inside of them that I will use. Let's get to what I'm talking about. Duplicate layer. This is eyes. Lock it, and this one's pupils. Nope, I just want this one. I'm going to select it and move it down. I like that one. I wish the outline was a little bit thicker, but that's what I was talking about with the resizing process. If you resize something after it's already been drawn, you will come up with this issue to where the line drawing and everything becomes super thin or super thick, if you, depending on which way you resize. Bonehead eye symbol. Right. Okay, and then I could put that on a single layer, and then I can duplicate them over here and call this one pupil. Or not pupil, but eyelid. I was looking at the pupil while I spoke words. Then let's duplicate symbol, bonehead, eye symbol. Let's call it eyelid symbol. Make sure that's on single frame, and it is. And let's go F6 a couple times. And then there's two ways we could go about this. One's like that. Just drawing some eyelids. Couple here, couple over there. Give them some different moods. That's way off center. It can look weird. It just doesn't, I don't want it to look that weird. See, like that's weird. Like, what happened there? That was weird. What in the world is it thinking sometimes? Okay, 1, 2, sleepy, kind of anxious. Do one for like regular. Surprised, I guess. One like so. And then, did I already? Yeah, I did. Let's copy this and Control Z. So I can make a couple more copies. Haha, see what I did there? And let's delete this, Control Shift V. And then I copied in the exact same space. That way I can do one blinking. I like this one, but I want to copy it, right? Copy after the one that's done blinking. Control Shift V. Control, click somewhere. What? No. Okay, like that. Alright. And let's see what color. You know what? First of all, let's just go through and delete all those. I should have started at frame 1. Now I'm deleting to make sure that it's see-through on the other side. You know, I probably could have done this a little bit more muddy and got it done faster if I would have just used giant symbols and stuff and plopped it over, because I could have added the symbol in, right, and then duplicated it on top and turned it into a mask. But hey, whatever, you know. Ooh, not what I want. A little closer to that. These are eyelids. Slightly blue color will make him a little bit easier to see when he's on bright backgrounds. Of course, the hard black lining will help with that as well. But yeah, essentially his eyelids and eyeballs are pretty much ready to go. So now the eyelids are in their own symbol. Really, the eyes basically are not going to be frame picker eyes here. They're going to be looped. And that should stay consistent pretty much no matter what. If I go down this entire timeline, insert frame, make sure I get everything, insert frame. Currently will not be animated because these eyes inside are not doing anything. Even if I insert a symbol, it should all be ready just on on single frame anyways, and it will not animate until I tell it to. So bonehead eye pupils, as opposed to the other kind of pupils. I don't know, man. These ones will totally be on a single frame, and that's because I could just grab them and animate accordingly. Now, I could duplicate the eyes, right? Call it mask. And this will mask over the pupils, therefore enabling me to do things like this. And you see it fixes it for me. That's great. Cool beans. Select the right thing. Friend. I refer to myself as friend because I don't believe I'm my own enemy.
Yeah. Whoa, where's he come up with this stuff? I'm gonna watch this guy all the time.
Calm down, everybody. For realsies. Now, the pupil can be animated, and I could do that further down the line and change it. As long as it's on single frame, everything will work out fine. Cool. So the eyes, ready to go. Now, let's see. I kind of want to do the rest of... Let's see. Let's actually animate... Or not animate. Let's rig the rest of the character and put the pivot points in the right spots. So this pivot point goes right in the neck. That way, if it moves, it's moving on the neck. Seems pretty straightforward. Now the neck, when it moves, I want it to move from this pivot point. And it's having a hard time doing exactly what I want. There we go. And the body will pivot down here. And let's move all of these over here. Nice. The pivot point of the arm is actually more important than you would think it is. It's one of the harder things to actually get animated properly. And we want it like this, I think. Yeah, I'm doing it this way because the arm symbol is going to change according to the way that it is moved, the way it is bent. That should be right. Let's actually move it down a little bit, like right here. And we'll test it later. No, we'll test it now. Well, you are going to get yourself kicked out of this bar, mister. A lot of like improv when I'm alone, huh? Yeah. Obviously, his hand is going to need a lot of changing, moving around. When it's in a fist is really the easiest time to animate a hand, because it's literally just like a weird-looking apple. Okay, and I could seriously, and I'm very serious about this, I can duplicate these and move them like so. And call these all B. And so I don't necessarily need to make an additional symbol for each one of these, because a lot of the movement will be the same, as well as anything that, well, okay, when I'm in the frame picker, which has nothing because and say one of these is a closed fist from the front, one of these is a closed fist from the back. I'd put the front here and the back here, or vice versa, depending on which side you think is the front of your hand. Yeah, so he is looking pretty good. Let's go down to the leg and let's select each one of these. Let's call them A. Whoops, not just A. Shoe 1A. Good job. And duplicate. And you should be over here. no. So the thigh should be on the bottom. That makes sense. Shoe goes in front. Let's call all these different names. Did I? You know what? Before I do this, let's go back a step. Hold on a second. Let's erase these, because I was not done picking the pivot point, and I got too excited. You saw it. We all know what's going on. I just wanted this character to be done. But no. Let's go back and pick the pivot point. I can hear you. Yeah, see. Now I can walk. Whoa. Now I can walk a little bit easier. Alright. Properties. Now. He's ready to do what I was trying to do a second ago. Let's just make sure everything else is ready to go. The pivot point will be like on his head. Then maybe when he walks, his hat will pivot around. That's kind of silly, isn't it? Kind of silly. Makes you laugh. More terrible attempts at being British. It's not gonna happen, dude. It's never gonna happen. Let go. Okay? They all said you'd be a dreamer. Dreamer's what I am. And I like eating ham. Ham and cheese. It makes me sneeze. B. Now, I'm not testing it before I'm duplicating it, which, in my experience, is a no-no. I should have, but as you can see, me continuing forward, I'm still not doing it. And I want these to be on the very bottom of everything. That way, if I animate the arm, it will be in front. Okay. He's pretty much rigged, right? He's there. Not quite. Why? Because I want to go in here. Let's save really quick. Let's go 6666 F6, that is. Not just calling out the beast. E is the eraser. And for this one, I'm going to just erase like so. And this one, I'm just going to erase like the front part. This one, I'm going to erase only over here. And this one, I'm going to erase only over here. Now, the last one doesn't really make sense at all. But I know the first couple will definitely be used. These two specifically. When his arm's turning around. For now, we can go into frame picker and pick number 2. And there you have one consistent looking arm. Do the same thing over here. It's the same symbol. That's why I don't rip it into 2 different pieces. And let's do the same thing for the hand. Let's go in there, F6 a couple times. Let's go to the second one, hit the erase, and literally erase from one section of the arm to the next. And hit this one, and go like so. This one can be like more over here. You never know what animation is going to be necessary, so I like to be prepared. So when his hand's moving around, I can move this around and it will look like a consistent piece. What are you doing, computer? Stop that. Stop that. Stop it now. Yeah. Yes, rigging takes time. It really does. And here is the benefit of using a very non-detailed hand, is that currently his hand can flip around and you don't notice the difference. This looks like the back, that looks like the front. And I can duplicate them and make it to where there is a back and front with the open palm, the open hand. But that's an added detail that I'll probably get to later. For now, let's do the same thing to his legs. F6. And if I was working with a foot, a regular foot, I would probably do the same thing to his foot. But because I'm working with shoes or boots, whatever, I don't have to do that. And yeah, I'm just eating out, erasing, I should say, not eating. Kind of looks like I took a bite out of it, but I am just taking off little pieces, little bites that look crazy when I'm not animating with them, but trust me, they serve a purpose, and that's to make a nice consistent looking leg, like so. And so it still has a little bit of definition to it, but then when I animate them, I'll be able to maneuver using these single frames in the frame picker over here, which they just look like a bunch of rotten cucumbers, to be honest. I can maneuver them around, and then that'll enable me to move his leg around, and you'll be able to see some nice looking animation. Okay, I'm going to look up really quick Animate CC. What's it called? This, lip syncing. Literally just want to look for an image because I don't want to flip back and forth. And to give you, let me show you what I'm looking at. Left screen. That's what one I want. I'm literally just looking this up, so I don't have to go back and forth between what I'm working on and the main screen that I'm on, so I can see exactly what I'm trying to work with. Yeah, so each one of these images that I'm going to make here need to have a certain sound associated with them. For this one, it's going to be ah. Looks like that for me. D is more rounded. E. F. I can do like there's so many different ways. I can go like this. Make sure that the teeth are down like that. L. And again, What happened? Weirdness. It's his tongue. I guess Bonehead's gonna have a tongue. Oh, F7. M. M is such a weird one. It looks like they're not talking, basically. But it needs to be different than the neutral. Well, it doesn't have to be, obviously. Nothing has to be anything. But, for me, I like it to be different. So that way, you know, there's a clear difference between neutral and an M sound. Yep. And that's, what are we on? S? This one was R. R. S. Is going to be the next one. Nope. Those need to connect. When it comes to something like the mouth, I really want it to be particular, or I am very particular about it, because you're going to see it a lot, and because of how much it's flapping around, it draws attention to it. So I want it to be good. Woo! This is the sound of... I don't like how squiggly it became. That one's pretty squiggly too. Why are you so squiggly? There we are. And let's turn off the... oh my god, onion skin. I don't know why I'm brain farting so much today. I'm gonna fill in all the black areas, and hopefully it won't fill in any teeth. Like that. Go to fill small gap. Not that small. There we go. Oh. And that's why I'm using a different black. Not only can I come back and edit it, but it's easier to tell if I'm accidentally filling in the wrong areas. And now let's go to white. And it's going to be hard to tell. I don't want a white tongue. I'll come back for that here in a second. What color is a skeleton's teeth? Or tongue, I mean. How weird would that be if a skeleton, like, you just lose your teeth for some reason? I was just thinking of that because I was accidentally saying the wrong thing. Whoa. Get in there. Now this tongue will stick out a lot. Like, you'll really notice that it's a tongue because there is no other color like that at all on this skeleton fella. And to give you an idea of what I just did and why, there he is, he's talking. However, this thing needs to be up, and then I can move the whole thing down, because when he opens his mouth, I don't want it to flop around that much. And he is currently rigged, able to smile, and that's it. And What really needs to be on top of this guy to make him look correct is the shading that I used earlier. And let's see, did I delete it? No, good job, me. Whoop, what's going on here? What's all this then? Yeah, the shading is the big difference. I really like the off-white, almost blue. You barely notice it unless you see a white character like right next to him. So I'm gonna consider this fella good to go. He needs some additional hands, maybe some different expressions with the mouth. His eyebrows need some changes, like they need but because they're just a line, it doesn't really take a whole lot to make all that happen. But the eyelids and the mouth, all the hard parts I consider hard anyways, and the most used are rigged. So, I've been working on this fella for what, just under an hour, and I think that's a good spot to leave it off. So, whoa, hey, whoa, where am I going? What's happening? But I like the way this character turned out, and you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and sign off now. I will see you next time on either Twitch or YouTube. Either way, you can find it all at erpolley.com. ERPOLLEY.com. I'll see you around.